welcome to the celebrated nightly news of Calaveras County. I'm Sarah.
And I'm John.
And we're back again.
We are.
For yet another evening of nightly news.
Thrill-packed, ever exciting. It's just, but I think right off the top, I think it's safe to say that this is kind of a slow news week, isn't it?
Oh, it is. It is.
This is...
It's a little slow. And it's a little like a Lego news week.
A Lego?
Yes, because last
Lego
night's...
waffle or a Lego?
Tonight's news show will build on last night's.
We built upon the...
We build things. Colorful things of news. Colorful blocks of news for you.
Great.
And one of those colorful blocks actually comes from Sacramento, state capital. Today, the Senate Budget and Fiscal Review Committee met and talked about courthouse construction that was still is in the governor's budget.
Right.
And which courthouses which would be funded and which courthouses would be not. Our own Judge Mawhinney was there, as was Mary Beth Todd, who's the courthouse administrative officer. And even our Senate District 1 representative, Senator Dave Cox, spoke very eloquently for Calaveras, Mono, and Lassen counties to be funded. And alas, only 4 counties were funded in this particular budget this round, and Calaveras was not one of them.
Does that mean we're out of the loop for a year?
No. What they did is they kept it open for review. And this is what happens during the governor's budget process. He comes out with his budget, and then he either starts cutting it himself or committees start to cut the budget, and this is just what happens. So we still may get courthouse construction funds, but as for right now, we are out of the loop.
Okay.
And
it seems like we've been making pretty good progress, though. I mean, as far as
absolutely, with the jail prison bed legislation, and
so the courthouse one is distinct and separate from the jail.
It is distinct and separate from the jail. It is interesting, though, because yesterday we talked about transferring the courthouse over back to the state. And what they said in today's committee meeting was there were 450 county jailhouses that were going back to the state in this whole process.
450?
Mm-hmm. 450 buildings to be transferred back to the state. And
we're actually on the front edge of it, because isn't there only about 20 counties that have completed the process?
I think so. There's not a whole lot of counties that have completed the process, and that's actually apparently one of the concerns of the state, is that those who have completed the process, we're not completely complete, they just voted to complete it yesterday, but those who have completed the process, it hasn't gone quite the way that the state had anticipated, and I think the state has lost some money actually in the transfer process. So they're thinking about their pockets as well. So I thought that was sort of a little tidbit, what's going on actually in Sacramento does actually affect us here in Calaveras, as does an assembly bill that was passed out of the assembly on Monday, which would require that child safety seats be used for children or booster seats be used for children up to the age of 8 now.
Is that calendar age or mental age?
Well, if it was mental age, half of us would be in the back seat, quite frankly. And some days even further back in the car, But that actually passed out of the assembly and needs to go to the Senate.
Okay, so you think that'll pass?
They seem to introduce this bill every single legislative session, so I don't know.
So somebody probably needs to see that in their district that I'm saving the children.
Yes, that's exactly what they say.
I'm for the children.
Yes, and then they'll be putting us in booster seats, up in the front seat pretty soon.
It's amazing how any of us survived to adulthood that grew up in a time where we didn't wear bicycle helmets, there was no safety seats.
True.
And
I used to roller skate down a hill like this, straight down.
Yeah,
no pads, no anything.
Nothing.
Well, maybe that's the issue.
Well, see, now they charge you money and call it microdermabrasion.
That's right.
Exactly. Used to be road rash, but now it's
they charge you for it. Exactly. Exfoliate.
Yes,
that's kind of impressive. You know what exfoliate is.
Well, otherwise, just kidding. Also, I guess some kind of governmental news. This is for up in Alpine County, and they are going to be having a planning meeting tomorrow night, or actually on the tomorrow night, Thursday the 10th, 6 p.m. in the lodge, and it's going to be on another development up there. Now, the development seems to be picking up pace in Bear Valley.
Really?
This is not tied. This is not part of the Village project or the Silver Mountain condos.
Oh, really? This is separate again.
This is 45 additional units on top of that.
Wow.
And it looks like here, and I read my notes here real quick. It looks like they're going to do the tentative subdivision map, conditional use permit. That's the action items on that. Is a multifamily project include 45 residential condominiums together with a covered under building parking garage, which is going to be that's going to be the model going forward. That everything up there is going to have covered parking. And 85 parking spaces. So
it's a very large building.
Looks like pretty good size. Yeah.
If it has
45 condos. So this is
unless there's 2 levels.
Yeah. So I guess. There's a couple projects for the Silver. You're probably familiar with the Silver Mountain one, to where they have the first phase starting, the construction now, which was 20-some units that were all sold out, and there's going to be about 90 units in that one, that project. Now this is another project that has 45, so you're looking at roughly 150 condo units that will be completely separate from, say, the 500 that they're going to do for the Village.
Wow, that's interesting.
It looks like Bear Valley is
relatively
on the move.
Quick as well.
Definitely
since
on
the new
move.
Owners took over Bear Valley and have.
But this is separate. This has nothing.
I know.
I know.
So
this
is
just another just another property owner up there that's developing a project. Now, and the other one up there is, I know that it's been pretty quiet up in Bear Valley. We've heard from some of the businesses ever since ski season closed and the pass hasn't been open yet. Not much has been going on up there. So that's all going to change right about now, because we heard today that the road to Spicer's open, and so now this will open it up for all the fishing opportunities and a big kayaking lake and everything else. So that will be open for this weekend, and also the pass will open Friday morning. So this should be a good weekend. So this is the first real summer style weekend.
Exactly, and it should be a little quiet up there. If you're looking for peace and quiet, this is the weekend to go.
Well, it'll definitely be busier than it has been.
Well, yes, but quiet compared to the middle of the summer.
Oh yeah, no, definitely.
And Spicer is beautiful.
Yeah, so this should be a good, really a gorgeous weekend, because as springtime starts to wane down here, springtime is just starting farther up the hill.
Exactly.
That's one of the fun things about living
in the foothills.
Many tiers, because if you don't like the climate you're in right now, just drive a half hour.
Exactly.
If you don't like the season you are right now, just
drive.
Yeah.
Just get in your car and drive.
Think how much this is better than the East Coast, because on the East Coast, let's say you're in a pretty state like Vermont, right? Which is pretty. Beautiful. It's gorgeous. We visited Vermont. It's beautiful. But the problem is if you want to change the seasons, you got to go to Florida.
Then you're dealing with skeeters and
if you want to, let's say you want to change a pace, and here, if you want to change a pace,
you just that's the beauty of California.
It is,
frankly.
Yeah, it is.
Is that on the on the highways you can see someone driving up with skis and down with a surfboard. Yes. I mean, it's just an amazing thing. So Spicer's going to be open.
Spicer's going to be opening.
You can get to Hermit Valley over at its pass, Lake Alpine, all those very nice places.
Mosquito Lake, I like Mosquito.
Mosquito Lake's beautiful. It really is. So, and in further news, we made a snafu last night.
We did.
A little snafu.
We made a mistake. Mea culpas, mea culpas, mea culpas.
Ebbets Pass, Fire District Station 1, we had talked about there being an open house tomorrow night, and there is an open house, but it's only for firefighters.
Right, it was an open house and I think they're even having barbecue.
They're having public barbecue.
But it's for staff and volunteers only. So they don't need 4 or 5 people from the general public going, hey, I thought there was some barbecue here. Right?
So we apologize for our snafu,
I was planning
and we corrected it. Were you planning on going over there?
Yeah, but I mean, that way... So if you want the open house, I haven't done it yet, but we'll top post the video that we shot of the walkthrough, so you can take a virtual tour.
And there will be a grand opening relatively
I'm sure there
soon.
probably will, yeah.
because it's not only the fire district, but the Ebbets Pass Veterans Memorial District is going to put a memorial out in front of the buildings.
Oh, they are?
Mm-hmm.
Now, one of the things that's kind of neat about that, the classroom setting in there,
mm-hmm.
that they're going to be able to use for
emergency services.
Yeah, but also for Columbia College classes
yes,
and stuff, too.
Definitely. So, and more fire news, it is Defensible Space Week. Let's see. Defensible Space is Your Responsibility Week. May 6th through 12th from CDF. And it's basically, we live in the interface, obviously, and it's basically to remind all of us to keep our homes fire safe and have 100 feet of defensible space around our homes. 30 feet is apparently cleared, like scorched earth. Right. And then the other 70 feet is cleared so that there's no fuel fires.
Okay.
And what's interesting about defensible space, if you have a very large tree and you have like a bush that goes up maybe like, I don't know, 3 or 4 feet,
sure,
you have to clear twice that. You have
twice
to clear
the height.
Twice the height up the limbs. So if you have like 4 feet of bush and then the limbs are like here, like 3 feet down, mm-hmm. you have to clear, I think, 8 feet up from the bush. I think it's like double. The
so the fire can't make a path.
Exactly, because you don't want the ladder fuels at all.
Interesting.
But it's, yes, very important to clear your land, because there's nothing more disturbing than seeing a house go down because their yard is not cleared.
And one on a sad note, we thought we'd mention it, is our thoughts and prayers go out to the family of the crash victims that were down at Riverbank yesterday, where six people died in that one, when we went out in front of the Amtrak train, and it's just,
it's one of those icky story. What I call an icky story.
Yeah, it is. It's an icky story. It's just not a fun thing. No,
definitely not. Definitely not. So, obviously, the community is definitely affected by that.
Yeah. Any national news we want to touch on?
Paris Hilton.
Paris Hilton. Is that really
that
news?
Is like the weirdest transition.
That really news?
Riverbank to Paris Hilton.
Yes.
Apparently, I love entertainment news, so I had to talk about Paris Hilton and actually Ty Peddington as well. Paris Hilton, as most of you know, got sentenced to go to jail.
45 days.
45 days in jail because of violations for her.
What was she speeding?
Yeah,
under
she was
the influence
speeding
with her lights off and.
Yes, under the influence, lights off, and she wasn't even supposed to be behind a wheel. No. She had her license suspended, and it was more than once that she did this. And apparently, she's going to appeal to Governor Schwarzenegger.
But I thought that her understanding was that she was entitled to drive for work-related issues, right?
Yes, apparently.
And since she gets paid to party in that.
Well, there's an argument there for you, but I don't think the governor's going to accept that one.
Because nightclubs pay her a retainer just to.
Do they? I didn't know that.
That's how she makes her. That's a good portion of cruise. I know she made over 6 figures last year.
Why don't people pay us to go places?
Well,
maybe we don't look like Paris Hilton. That's why.
Yeah.
We don't drink either.
So if you're opening a nightclub and you want to be seen as the cool hip place, you invite Paris. Well, you pay Paris to go party there.
Yes, definitely.
So
Paris Hilton is apparently looking to the governor to get her out of her problems, and the governor's spokesperson said, "I'm thinking no."
Never happened. But
the sad story I thought was Ty Peddington did it too, and he's from, I believe it's ABC's show with
Home
Improvement, and he said he was very sorry and the whole thing. But when you get behind the wheel, make sure you're not drinking.
Don't drink and drive, huh?
Yes.
Well, also, I think it's the final days of Tony Blair. And he will be the longest sitting prime minister in this century? I think second is Thatcher, but he's actually been... He's
been around an awful long time.
Yeah. I mean, when do you have to go back to Desrelais or something like that to find... Probably a little
Obscure reference.
Benjamin Desert.
I'm like, well, I don't know.
We just took this broadcast.
What I do know is I remember
the UK history.
No, only when you go back into the Tudor era. You're talking about 1500s.
Not Benjamin No?
I could talk about Henry VIII and his 6 wives, his father, their children.
Don't you have a daily nut on that?
I do.
Yes.
Which will be redone quite soon. I remember when he was elected, and he actually used a lot of the Clinton-esque ways of running a campaign. Yeah. And that actually, apparently, the thought at the time was that that's what actually put him over the edge.
Very effective.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he's just about final days, so we're going to see.
That's kind of a sad note.
Kind of an interesting kind of, and I think one of the things is regardless of how you felt on Blair's political position, left or right, or I think the comparisons were startling when both he and George W. spoke, at the beginning of the Iraq War and stuff like that. And regardless of your opinion on how it's turned out subsequently, but when I still think that Tony Blair's speeches, the power of oratory at the start of the war was those are some pretty
phenomenal.
Just amazing.
He is actually a phenomenal speaker, and he's actually weathered a lot in his own country,
right?
As well
even
as
from his wife.
Even from his wife, but it's very interesting to have seen the political climate change over there as well. And he's had to withstand onslaughts from his own party,
right?
And he's actually held up quite well.
Yeah, he has. I mean, personally, his stock has risen for me personally the longer he's been in office. It's.
I tell you though, if you ever get a chance to watch British Parliament in action, there is something interesting. They do not hold back. I mean, they don't quite hit each other. But, I mean, they will boo you. They will hiss you. If they don't like what you're saying, it is definitely an interesting take on things.
Yeah, it is. It is. So we're going to weather?
We're going to weather now.
Okay, all right.
Definitely. Arnold weather. You can do
Arnold? Okay. We have tonight, clear, 55-degree low. Tomorrow, a 73-degree high. A low of 50, a high of 71 on Friday. And Friday night, 52. And Saturday, a 66 degrees. Perfect, just temperate.
Saturday during the day, 66 degrees?
That's what it says here. I bet we'll be a little warmer.
Probably.
I bet we'll be a touch higher.
We will.
Yeah.
In Murphy's tonight, it's clear at 56 degrees. Thursday night, sunny, 82 degrees during the day. Thursday night, 51 degrees. And Saturday, 72 degrees during the day.
Very nice.
Sunny. It's all
like one of
sunny.
those perfect weekends. Not too hot, not too cold. Now, if we can get some weather just a couple degrees warmer, but not too much during the fair,
it'll be really nice.
Yeah,
definitely.
Because sometimes during the fair, if it's too warm, it's warm. Yeah, it's warm. The poor frogs. They just
but their owners provide well for them. Their little frog condos.
The frog condos.
I tell you, they are temperature controlled.
All with all the crank in the water and everything, so they can jump. They're like, oh yeah.
They have their little water in there, and it's cool.
Yeah,
it's kind of nice for the frogs, except for the ones that get put in burlap sacks and have to be jumped by the public. Those are a little different.
So if you don't quite jump far enough in qualifying or something, you just end up as a domestique, or basically you
it's
get thrown
a metaphor for life. Yes.
Yeah, you get thrown.
You end up either in the froggy condo or the burlap sack, one or the other. And Angels Camp weather tonight, clear at 58 degrees. Thursday, 80 degrees during the day. Thursday night, 53 degrees. Friday, 76 degrees, and Saturday, 71 degrees, mostly sunny.
Very nice.
Yes, so it should be nice.
And
Definitely.
For Valley Springs, right now we're showing 92 degrees in Valley Springs. Wednesday with a high of 90 forecast, low of 54. Thursday, a high of 84, low of 46. Friday, high of 81, Saturday, they're projecting a high of 77.
77. That's
Not
pretty
bad.
good. Not bad
Not
at
bad.
all. So when you come up over the weekend, there's a lot of things to do this weekend, so you'll hear all about them tomorrow night.
We'll tell you what to do.
On our
Isn't that
entertainment,
our,
entertainment edition, we like to tell you what to do. And you can tune in then and find out all the great things that are happening this Mother's Day weekend. And bring your sunscreen and enjoy yourself.
Great. And thank you. And thanks for joining us again. And thanks again to our viewer in Portland, Maine.
Yes.
It was nice talking to you again this evening. And we're going to tell you, so if you're coming to Calaveras County for the weekend, we'll do that, right?
Yes.
So if they're coming from Portland, Maine to
we'll
come
give
visit
you
us,
the royal treatment.
we'll give you the royal treatment.
That's
Anyway,
right. Thank you. Good night.
have a good night.